You have to keep reading because there's some real important information here. However, the reason for the replacement was not linked to the fuel control switch. They removed both of those throttle units, not because of the fuel control switch. So what we know from this now is that there was nothing wrong with the fuel control switches either in 2019 or in 2023 or the day of this crash. There has, and it continues on, there has been no defect reported pertaining to the fuel control switches since 2023 on this particular airplane, VT-ANB. That's the tail number of that airplane. So there's never been a single write-up about any of the fuel control switches. And in fact, as we follow the timeline now of the AAIB report, shortly after rotate, and I mean within a second of rotate, in their wording, both fuel control switches, 1 second apart from each other, left to right, were transitioned from run to cutoff. That is the actual physical switch. Now, let me be clear on this. They didn't say that the engines failed and then the fuel control switches were transitioned to cutoff. They're saying that the fuel control switches were transitioned to cutoff and then the engines failed. So then they begin to give you a second-by-second timeline of the engines failing, spooling down, so forth. It was approximately just under 10 seconds when both fuel control switches were placed back to the run position. I'm assuming that the other pilot did that, but again, that's an assumption on my part. But it was a full almost 10 seconds before they were placed back into the run position.